Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All the praises to Allah. We praise Him and seek His aid and ask His forgiveness, and may the peace and blessings and exalt and mention be upon His slave and messenger Muhammad, His house of kin, His companions, and all who follow them exactly until the day of judgment. طيب. So today, inshallah, we're going to continue some issues regarding weighing the words. And we said in the previous class that the words are weighed by placing respectively each letter in the word weighed on the scale. And we said also that the scale is used to differentiate between, or in general, there are two general purposes from the scale. The first one is to differentiate and distinguish in between the extra letters and the original ones, and to know the order of each letter. And today, inshallah, we're going to find out how to weigh, or we're going to revise how did we weigh words which have extra letters. Now, we said in the previous class, or in previous classes, we said that the original letters are the letters that remain and that are not dropped in all conjugations. Whatever form it is, those letters will always be there. Now, what happens when there is an increase in letters? When there is more than 3 letters. We said before that the least number of letters you can find in an Arabic word are 3. So what happens when there is more than 3? What happens when there is an increasing letters? More than 3 letters in the mawzun. What did we say the mawzun was? The mawzun. What did we say the mawzun was? What's the mawzun? Good, ahsanti. It's the word weight. And what is the scale itself? What's that called? The scale itself of good is called wazn. So these, none. So whatever is more than 3 letters in the mawzun, these are known as extra letters. Okay? However, there are 3 types of extra letters. There are 3 types of extra letters. There are extra letters, or there is an extra letter according to the scale, but not according to the word weighed. So an extra letter according to the scale, but not according to the word weighed. Okay? This is because the original letters can be 3. The least number of original letters that are found in al-ism or al-fi'l are how many? How many? 3. Okay? Also, 3 is the least. It doesn't mean that there isn't more than 3 original letters, but 3 is the least. Okay? This is because there are some words which contain 4 letters which are all original. 4 letters which are all original. Okay? Like waswasa. For example, waswasa. Waswasa means, it means whispered. فوسوس إليه الشيطان قال هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. So waswasa, how many letters that is? Waswasa. Waswasa. How many letters those are those? Those are 4 letters. Okay. Those 4 letters, are they all original? Yes. Because this is a 4 all original letter verb. Okay. So basically, what we said again, verbs could be, or verbs, or the original letters in verbs, they could be 3, and the maximum number they could reach to is 4. واضح بارك الله فيكم. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. Now, if you understood what we have just instructed, then know that since the original number of letters in the scale are 3. صحيح? Because we said the letters of the scale are how many? Are 3. Okay? The fa and the ain and the lam. Okay? Since the number of letters in the scale are 3, and we want to weigh a 4-letter verb containing all original letters, isn't the 4th going to be extra to the scale, according to the scale? It's going to be an extra letter according to the scale. Okay? But does that extra letter, yani, it being extra to the scale, does that mean it is extra in the word weight? No. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good? Is this understood? Okay? Yes. واضح? So, the scale being of 3 letters, sometimes we get to weigh 4-letter verbs. Okay? Now, this 4th letter, okay, this 4th letter is considered extra to the scale. Okay? But not to the word. Not to the word weight. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Understood? So this is the first type of extra letters. The first type of extra letters. Okay? So the first type of extra letters is an extra letter according to the scale, which is an original letter in the word weight. Good? Like dahraja. 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 Dahraja means rolled something. You know? Okay? Or flipped over something. This is what dahraja means. Okay? Now, yes, go ahead. Now we said dahraja is a 4-letter verb, right? We said that because most letters are on the least number, yani 3, the scale contained only 3 letters, okay? And when we had here with the 3-letter words, it was easy to weigh them, considering that the scale is also 3. So it was even. Okay? It was even when it is a 3-letter verb. But here it's not. Here it's not. Okay? there is a letter which will fall out of place. There's no place for it. Okay? So here, a word like dahraja, a word like dahraja, even for mudaf verbs, muda'af verbs, which ayn and lam get doubled, still we get an extra in lam and not ayn. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now a word like dahraja, yeah, fa'alala, yes. A word like dahraja, okay? We want to weigh it. So the first letter in the word is going to go where? On the first letter in the scale. Okay? So the dal here, we placed it over the fa. Okay? We placed it over the fa. Okay? Now, what did we call the dal since it's over the fa? What do we call it? Huh? We call it the fa of the word. In Arabic, fa'ul kalima. Okay? Try not to forget this because this is important. Okay? Then the second in order is the ha. So we're going to place the ha on which letter in the scale? On the ain. Thus we're going to call it what? The ain of the word, meaning ain al-kalima. Okay? Then we go to the third letter in order, which is the ra. So we're going to place it on the what? On the lam. Okay? And because of that, it's going to be named or called lam al-kalima. Alright? Now, when we want to place the jim, we don't find place for it. Because the scale originally consists of 3 letters. Okay? Now, and the jim is an original letter in the word weight. But to the scale, it's not. It's an extra letter. Okay? So here, what do you do in this case? They said here, you're going to add an extra lam. You're going to add an extra lam. واضح بارك الله فيكم. So there you go. That's that extra lam right there. Okay? And as we said before, you're going to treat the scale as if it's a mirror. Okay? So all the harakat, it doesn't matter now to know why, inshallah. All the harakat that are on those letters will reflect in the scale. Will reflect on the scale. Good? Jim? Hey, what do we call this jim? Okay. This jim, we call it the second lam of the word. The second lam of the word. Okay? اللام الثانية. واضح؟ اللام الثانية. Okay? Alright, وفيكم بارك. Second, yes, second lam of the word. Okay, barakallahu fikum. This is when, be careful, this is when this extra letter is an original one in the word. Okay? If it's an extra letter in the word, it gets another ruling. Okay? There's something else we're going to do. Alright? Good? Okay. So here, that's why he told you here, see? The first type is the extra letter according to the scale. which is an original letter according to the word weighed. In this case, we add an extra lam to the end of the scale. Okay? The word dahraja means rolled something, like a rock or a ball. Okay? It consists of 4 letters which are all original letters. So this word is weighed against fa'alala. See fa'alala because it's dahraja. The da gets a fatha, the dal gets a fatha, so does the fa. The ha gets a sukoon, so does the ain, which is parallel to it. The ra gets a fatha, so does the lam. The jim gets a fatha, so does the second lam. Okay? Now the extra lam is added to represent the 4th letter in the word. And the harakat of the word are brought down to the scale just as they are. When we weigh this word, we say dahraja ala wazni fa'lala. Dahraja ala wazni fa'lala. Dahraja ala wazni fa'lala. Will there be no original letter in a word? What do you mean? All of these letters in this particular word are original. Okay? Yes. Yani, it will come inshallah. It will come. Other type of words will come. So now, yani basically when you look into the dictionary, okay, you're going to search for all of those letters together, not just 3. So you're not just gonna look in the dictionary for the dal and the ha and the ra. No. You're gonna look for the dal, the ha, ra, and jim. واضح? Yes. 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 4 letter, 4 root letter. Yes. Okay? Alright. Now, let's go to the second type of extra letters here, of course. They were laid out here in general, and then they were detailed. So the second one, an extra letter which is basically a doubling of the letter of a letter in the word weighed. A doubling. Okay? So here he says, the second type of extra letter is an extra letter due to doubling a letter in the word weighed. In the word weighed. It is not an original letter in the word. In the word is not an original letter. Yeah, we'll get to explain that inshallah. In this case, and what do now? Okay, and we'll inshallah we'll get to explain how it's doubled and what happens when it's doubled. Okay, but in this case, what do we do when a letter in the word is doubled? Here, we're simply going to double the same letter it was parallel to. So basically, here, for example, qatala. Okay, let's take qatala for example. Okay, just imagine there's no shadda here, and we'll explain what a shadda is. Okay, let's say it is qatala, just the qaf and the ta and the lam. Now, where are you going to place the qaf? So you say, since it's the first letter, it's going to be fixed on the fa. Okay, where are you going to place the ta? You say, since it's the second letter, it's going to go on the ain. Where will you place the lam? Since it's the third letter, it's going to go on the lam. So the qaf is fa al-kalima, and the ta is ayn al-kalima, and the lam is lam al-kalima. Okay? Now, the word, now let me yani, try to illustrate this, inshallah, to break it down for you, inshallah. Okay? Now, for example, here, okay, let's take an example here. Okay, and this is the scale now here. Okay, now here we're gonna put fa'ala, 3 letters, the fa and the ain and the lam. Okay, the fa and the ain and the lam. Okay, and then we're going to bring qatala. Excuse me a moment, please. Excuse me a moment. Yeah, sorry about that. So we bring qatala here. Okay, qatala. Okay, and then we're gonna, do the same thing we did here. Okay, so basically we're gonna place the qaf where on the fa, and the ta on the ain, and the lam on the lam. All right. Okay. Now here, what happens if you double this letter? If you double this letter is a ta. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna double it. Okay. And I'm gonna place another ta here. Okay. So instead of having one ta, I'm gonna put another one. There we go. Okay. Okay. So there are 2 tas now. Okay. Now, which letter did I double? Fa al-kalima or ayn al-kalima or lam al-kalima? Huh? Yani before doubling. The ta, isn't it ayn al-kalima? Didn't we agree that we call it ayn al-kalima because it's parallel to the ayn? So here, what was doubled? What was doubled is ayn al-kalima, right? So here, since ayn al-kalima was doubled, you're going to double the same in the scale. Yes. Okay? You're going, yes. Okay? So here, I'm going, when I double it, قتل. قتل. It's going to sound like that. قتل. Okay? So I'm going to do the same in where? In the scale. Just as Ayn al-Kalima was doubled, I double the Ayn. Just like Ayn al-Kalima is doubled, I double also the Ayn. the same respectively. واضح بارك الله فيكم. واضح. Okay. Now, when a letter is doubled, okay, in the Arabic language, okay, it يعني when two letters are in a row, two identical letters in a row, the first one is silent, sakin, as you can see. Second one is متحرك, that means has a haraka. مفتوح, the ta here is مفتوح, or the ta here is مفتوحة. Okay, in the Arabic language, whenever that happens, and whenever there are two identical letters in a row, okay, usually we merge them. Okay, now if this first identical letter was silent and the one after was يعني had a haraka, we merge them together. Okay, we merge them together. Okay, like so. Okay, now as you can see, we did not take away the haraka of the second identical letter, which is the fatha. Okay, now to express this merging, we put a small w with the haraka of the second identical letter. We put a small w. Okay, now this w, okay, two wavy signs, this expresses that this letter is actually two letters that were merged. Understand? Okay, and because there's a fatha over this small w, this means that the second identical letter is a fatha, is a fatha. Okay, so basically, whenever you see a letter, and it has this sign, that means there are two of those letters. The first one is sakin, the second one is maftuh, if it has a fatha. Okay, and the second one has a haraka. Alright, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So again, whenever you see a letter and there's that small w, okay, this expresses that there are two originally of those letters. The first one is silent and the second one has a haraka. Good? Clear? طيب. Okay, so the second type of extra letter is an extra letter due to doubling a letter, doubling it in the word. Maybe it was dropped here in the word wait. It is not an original, it is not an original letter in the word. In this case, what do? We double the letter in the scale that is parallel to the doubled letter in the word wait. That's simply what to do. So the word qatala here, one might say, what's the difference between qatala and qattala? Yani doubling the word, what will it do? Sorry, doubling the letter, or especially the middle letter we're talking about now here. Doubling the middle letter, what will it do? What's the benefit of it? It gives another meaning, because I told you, once the form is changed, what's supposed to happen? Good. We get another meaning. We get an extra benefit, okay, over the original meaning. Okay, so we get another meaning. It changes to another meaning. Okay, so here, قت, قتل originally, what does it mean? قتل with no doubling. قتل means killed. Okay, now in the future, inshallah, you will learn that doubling a middle letter in a verb expresses increase. Expresses increase or multiplicity. Yani that this act was done multiple times. More than once. Yes, in the letter. In the middle letter. Okay? So, when you say, for example, قتل, قتل means killed. Just قتل. Okay? Now, when you double the middle letter and you say قتل, قتل, here the meaning changes from being killed to being killed a lot. To being killed a lot. واضح? Okay? In a sentence, قال الله سبحانه وتعالى وإذ أنجيناكم من آل فرعون يسومونكم سوء العذاب يقتلون أبناءكم ويستحيون نساءكم, as in Surah Al-A'raf. يقتلون. Okay? And also in Surah Al-A'raf سنقتل أبناءهم ونستحيي نساءهم. So here, alhamdulillah, وفيكم. So here, سنقتل أبناءهم. Okay. يعني here it's not just killing once, it's killing more than once. And more than one. It's a lot of killing here. It's massacring. واضح? So this is a difference between. So this is يعني just a, a benefit that gives you an idea of what you're going to study in level 2. Okay. All right. So the word قتل means he killed a lot. In other words, massacred. The double letter bears a shadda. That, little w that we just explained, this is called a shadda. Shadda. Yani shaddatun. Shaddatun. But because we stopped at the ta, we said whenever you stop on the ta, you pronounce it as a ha. Shadda. Okay? So the symbol above the ta, that looks like a small w, which indicates two identical letters. The first letter is silent and the second letter has a vowel. When we weigh this word, we say قتل على وزن فعل. قتل. How many letters are those? قتل. Those are 4, not 3. قتل. Okay? So you're going to do the same in the scale. فعل. So قتل على وزن فعل. قتل is on the scale of فعل. The original word is قتل. يعني without that doubling. Okay? Which means killed, murdered. Then عين الكلمة is doubled to get قتل, which means killed a lot. Killed excessively, massacred, etc. Okay? Here it says the difference between the two forms, and so on. Several forms of the same root is based on a major principle which states that the increase in letters indicates an increase in meaning, which is said in Arabic زيادة المبنى تدل على زيادة المعنى. زيادة المبنى تدل على زيادة المعنى. زيادة المبنى يعني the increase in the form. المبنى is another word for بناء, which you have taken before. So basically you can say زيادة البناء تدل على زيادة المعنى. Okay? So examples of those two usages, قتل and قتل, are found in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the son of Adam, Habil, قال فطوعت له نفسه قتل أخيه فقتله. قتل, there you go, قتل. فأصبح من الخاسرين. So he killed his brother. قتله, killed. Killing can only happen once. واضح? Okay. Here he says in the other verse, which is Surah Al-A'raf, Surah number 7, verse number 127, about Fir'aun saying, سَنُقَتِّلُ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ وَنَسْتَحْيِي نِسَاءَهُمْ. سَنُقَتِّلُ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ وَنَسْتَحْيِي نِسَاءَهُمْ. Huh? You didn't understand something here, Sister Muhammad? Or is it good? Understood? Okay. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So here, سَنُقَتِّلُ أَبْنَاءً, we will kill their sons. So how many act of killing was there? Or was there intended to be many? Because sons is a plural. Okay? So نُقَتِّلُ is the mudari' of قَتَّلَ. Okay? Here it explains the principle of the shadda, which we have just explained in the footnote. Alright? Now, is the second kind of extra letter understood? Okay, good. Now we come here to the third kind of extra letters, which is the most important, inshallah. So the third kind of extra letter is an extra letter which is not one of the two previously mentioned. Which are what? What are the two previously mentioned? Yani, it is not, yes, it is not an extra letter which is original in the word. Neither is it an extra letter due to doubling a letter. Okay? It's neither of the two. Okay? This kind of letter is one of the 10 letters gathered in the word سألتمونيها. Yani this word gathers all the letters that could possibly be extra letters of this kind. سألتمونيها. Yani they just made up this word to gather all those letters. Yani the sin and the hamza and the lam and the ta and the mim and the waw and the noon and the ya and the ha and the alif. واضح? Yes. How many letters are those? 10. Okay? 10 letters. واضح? بارك الله فيكم. بارك الله فيكم means may Allah bless in you. And واضح means is this clear? Okay? So, سألتمونيها. سألتمونيها, those letters are the letters, the extra letters that are found in words other than the first type of the first two types of extra letters. Okay? Now, when we face or come across such letters, which are considered none of the first two types. What do we do in this case? We bring them down in the scale exactly as they are. Okay? An example to this is yaktubu. Okay? Yaktubu. To this is yaktubu. Now, yaktubu, barakallahu fikum, is a mudari' of kataba. Yani is the present, the mudari'. Let's not say the present because you already know what a mudari' is. Is the mudari' of kataba. Kataba is a ma, is a madi. And yaktubu is its mudari'. What's a madi? Who knows the definition of the madi? Who already memorized the definition of the madi? Huh? A madi. What is it? We just explained it yani, in yesterday's class. Huh? Madi. No, the technical meaning. The technical meaning. Yes, the act that is done in the past, before the time of speech. Okay? Okay? Now the mudari' of it is yaktubu. Yaktubu. Now, when you compare kataba to yaktubu, I think it's going to be very clear to you that there are how many root letters when you compare yaktubu to kataba? 3. 3, not 4. Because kataba is the madi and yaktubu is its mudari'. So, what are the letters which have remained and were not dropped? What were they? The kaf and the ta and the ba, right? So basically, did the ya drop from kataba? No, I meant yani, is the ya missing in this form? The ya, this ya, which is in yaktubu, is it not found in this form, which is kataba? Yes, it's not found. What does this make the ya? What does this make the ya? It makes it an extra letter because we said that the original letters will always remain in all, or will always exist in all forms. So since the ya dropped and was not found in some forms, this makes it extra. Understood? Understood, barakallahu fikum? Yeah. Yeah. I think I got 2 questions coming up. Understood? So, can we say it was not there in the original form and got added in this form? Yes, it got added in this form. The ya got added in this form because the way to turn a madi, yani a past verb, into a present one is to add a letter in the beginning. Okay? And there are four specific letters, particular letters, yes. And you will learn, inshallah, soon that there are four letters that could be added in the beginning to turn the madi into a mudari'. Okay. Now, again, I ask, how many root letters do we have in yaktubu? Or how many original letters do we have in yaktubu? 3. Okay. Now, in the scale, you see the fa and the ain al-lam, it's there. Okay. Now, the question is, are we going to place the ya over the fa? Are we going to place the ya over the fa? Why not? One might say, why? You told us that since this letter is first in order, it's going to fall on the first letter in the scale. Okay? So the answer to that is to tell you, no. We clearly specified that the first original letter is the letter that will go on the first letter in the scale. Okay? So be careful. Sometimes, you might come across such verbs, okay? Any verbs which are mudari'. So don't go ahead and put the first letter on the fa. No, because the letter you are asked to put on the fa is the first original letter. So the first original letter, my dear brothers and sisters, goes where? On the fa. And the second original letter goes on the ain. And the third original letter goes on the lam. Understood? Fahimtum? Are you sure? Okay, good. Now, okay, that's no problem. No problem that we put the kaf, since it's the first original letter, the first root letter, as you have explained in the madi, and the ya wasn't there, so that makes the ya an extra letter. So the first letter which we are going to place on the fa is the kaf and not the ya. Now that we get it, alhamdulillah. So we put the kaf on the fa. Fahimtu. We put the kaf on the fa. We put the kaf on the fa. And then we put the ta on the ain. And then we put the ba on the lam. Okay, if we do that, one is going to ask us, okay, but what will we do with what will we do with the ya now? So I told you, here it says that if the extra letter is one which is not one of the first two kinds, the first two types of extra letters, drop it down as it is. Put it in the scale as it is. Just bring it down. That's all. Yes, it could. Yes, it could, Bilal. Okay? But not in this form. It could, but not in this form. Okay? So, yeah, here, just put it down. So you're going to say yaktubu, yaktubu ala wazni yaf'ulu. Yaktubu ala wazni is on the scale of ya. See, ya here came down as it is. Ya. Yak, yak, yaf, yaktu, yaf'u, yaktubu, yaf'ulu. Good? Understood? So the word yaktubu means he writes. The letter, the extra letter here is the ya, which is one of the letters of sa'altumuniha, as you can see. No, yani drop it down in the scale, I meant. Okay, so sa'altumuniha, there you go, the ya is here. Okay, is one of those extra letters. Okay, so we bring it down in the scale as we say يكتب على وزن يفعل, meaning يكتب is on the scale of يفعل. Understood? Understood? Good. Now let's teach you how to turn a ماضي into a مضارع. يعني how to turn a past verb into a مضارع. Any past verb which you want. Okay. Now chapters. Now here we have to introduce to you something which is called chapters in Sarf, in morphology. Okay, something which is called chapters, and you have to know what chapters are, because only then will you understand what is the mudari' of each madi. Okay, yani what mudari' should be to each madi. So here we're going to teach you something called combinations. Now, or chapters, pardon me. Now, chapters in Sarf, what are they considered to be? They are considered to be a combination of both a mad, yani a madi, a past verb, and a mudari'. Yeah. Okay. So again, chapters are considered to be. What is a chapter in Sarf? So you're going to say a chapter in Sarf is a combination of both a mad and its mudari'. Okay. This is in the regarding the three-letter verbs. Regarding more than three letters, it's going to be the mad, the mudari', and the masdar. That you will take at level 2, inshallah. Okay? Now, before we begin to learn about the different chapters, so chapters are going to be explained later, and their combinations, we must know how the madi was formed and how to form the mudari', as well as the principles that govern them. Okay? So he says the madi. The three-letter madi in the Arabic language has only three forms. Beautiful. Subhanallah. So every three-letter verb, okay, has to be one of those three forms. That's it. Three forms for the three-letter verb. In the whole Arabic language, though, there are only three. Right? So if it's a verb, barakallahu fikum, if you find a verb and it's a three-letter verb, okay, it has to be one of those three. Yes, it has to be one of those three. Okay, you will never find a three-letter verb which isn't one of those three. It has to be one of those three. Okay, and either it is fa'ala like daraba and akala and qatala and abada, huh? Or it is fa'ila, or it is on the scale of fa'ila. Remember, those are scales. Those are scales, remember? So fa'ala. It is either on the scale of fa'ala, like daraba and akhadha and qatala and kafara and sha'ara, etc. Okay? And there are some verbs, no, chapters we said, are considered to be the combination of a madi with its mudari'. Okay? Now, fa'ila, there are verbs also on the scale of fa'ila, like shariba and alima, okay, and rakiba, etc. Okay, and there are verbs also, three-letter verbs, which are on the scale of fa'ula, 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 like hasuna and azuma and sharufa and karuma and nabula and faquha, etc. Okay, now this means that you will not find, yes, all verbs, all verbs, all three-letter verbs, That when you turn it into she or to them, that you just add some things. Understood? And then you apply the necessary changings, which we will explain later. But yes. Now, this means that you will not find any three-letter mad, except that it follows one of these three forms in the scale. Okay? Now, is this good? Now here is the logical, down here is the logical justification. Why is it only three? When the logical, yani if we rationalize it, we're going to say by rationale, it will end up being 12 forms, not 3. If we alternate all the the possible harakat on each letter, okay, it's gonna end up to be 12 forms. What made it 3? Why wasn't it 12? That, if you want the logical explanation, it's all here. Okay, and according to the, but we're not gonna take that because we didn't give that in the. Okay. All right. So this will save us a couple of pages here. Okay. Clear, barakallah fikum. So if you want to know what made it 3, and if you want to know the story of it, take your time at night, and just go ahead and read that story. واضح? And then you'll understand why it reached 3. Okay, but because we didn't give that in the establishing the principles, and we are revising for that, so we're just going to leave it for you to read, inshallah. Okay, this story, the story of how it was 3, it ended up to be 3 forms of the 3-letter verb. Okay, so there you go. You have those 2 to 3 pages for you to read if you would like to find out how and why, and the logical explanation to it. You'll find it there, inshallah. Okay, now the mudari'. Now we knew the madi. We knew the madi. Okay, now the mudari' is formed by prefixing one of the 4 letters of this word to the madi. The mudari' is formed by prefixing one of the 4 letters of this word. They gathered it into this word, so to make it easy for you to memorize. Anaitu. Anaitu means I got close. Okay, so they gathered it in this word, and if you want to know what are the letters of the mudari' which are prefixed to the madi, it is gathered in this word, anaitu, meaning the hamza, the noon, the ya, and the ta. Always before, yes, always before. Those letters always come before. Okay? So it is the hamza and the noon and the ya and the ta. Each of those 4 letters expresses a certain meaning. Okay? Expresses a certain meaning. Let me hold on, please. Let me just check something here. Yeah, okay. Expresses a certain meaning. Okay? The hamza, now for example, the hamza. The hamza, let's say for example, daraba, right? Daraba. What does daraba mean? Just to check to see how daraba, what does it mean? It means he hits. Okay, what does shariba mean? What about shariba? The verb that we also took. Shariba, it means he drank. Okay, what does akala mean? Akala. Akala. He ate. Okay, etc. Alright, now, if I want to turn those past verbs into a Mudari', what do? I simply add one of those four letters to its beginning. Okay? So for example, from daraba, I say adribu. Or nadribu. In adribu, what did I add? Adribu. From daraba, I changed it to adribu. We added the hamza in the beginning. Okay. Okay, I could say nadribu. Yes. What did I add here? Nadribu. Here I added the noon. نعم تفضلي. Okay. I could say يضرب. يضرب. Here, what did I add? Here I added the ya, right. I could say تضرب. تضرب. Here I added the ta. Good, mashallah. Okay, so each of those four letters has يعني or makes a meaning. Okay, makes a certain meaning of its own when added to the madi or when prefixed to the madi. Now the hamza, like adribu, is used for the single speaker, whether male or female. Okay, so adribu is used for the single speaker. So adribu means I hit. Okay, we're going to explain to you, don't worry, we're going to explain to you in detail how to change a madi to a mudari', but this is just in general here. Okay, otherwise we're going to explain to you what to do and what haraka to give, because you're saying daraba had 3 fathas, but in the mudari' it changed. How to do that? I know you're asking that. Inshallah, you'll get that, inshallah. But here we are just introducing to you what exactly are the extra letters that are going to be in the mudari' of the 3-letter verb. So we say يعني they are those 4 letters. Has to be one of those 4 letters in every mudari'. Never will you find a mudari' not having one of those 4 letters. It has to be one of those 4 letters, has to be there in every mudari'. واضح بارك الله فيكم? As for the noon, if I say nadribu instead of adribu, okay, here the noon is used for a group of speakers. For a group of speakers, or by a single speaker for glorification. Yes. Okay. So here, nadribu means we hit. We hit. Okay. These letters are there. They are mudari'. If you could rephrase your question, as I didn't understand it, Abu Zaid. Now, so the noon is used for a group of speakers, we, or by a single speaker who's glorifying himself, like when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, نَحْنُ خَلَقْنَاهُمْ وَشَدَدْنَا أَسْرَهُمْ. Or, no, not this one. نُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى بَنِي عَلَى ونريد أن نمن على الذين نعم على نعم نريد أن نمن نريد means we want, and the speaker here is Allah. Allah is the one who's speaking here. Okay, so this noon, when it comes in the beginning of a نعم جزاك الله خيرا نريد أن نمن على, if a word is started with those 4 letters, it has to, yes, but with those 4 letters when they are extra. When they are extra. Got it? Okay, yes, because sometimes don't confuse, yani don't see, what is meant is not that any word containing, yani having those letters in the beginning is going to be a mudari'. No, because akala, For example, akala. Doesn't it have a hamza in the beginning? Akala? Does that make it mudari'? No. Why? Because we specifically said that the hamza is added to the word. So it has to be an extra letter. Okay? Got it? So don't confuse the extra letter in the beginning with the original letter, which is identical to it. Yes, exactly. So we have 4 letters and the first one is extra. Then if you find a hamza or a ya, then if it's a mudari', you have to find one of those 4 letters. Okay, so we have akala. Akala here. Don't say that the hamza is an extra is a, or don't say that this word is a mudari' because there's a hamza in the beginning. And like for example, nasara. Don't say because there's a noon in the beginning here that means it's mudari'. No, because the noon here isn't extra. Excused. Well, the noon here isn't extra. The noon here is original. And we only said the letter, those 4 letters, when they are added to the beginning of the word. And when they are added, they are extra letters. Okay? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And don't say that yana'a, for example, is a mudari' because it has a ya in the beginning. Okay? And don't say that ta'iba is a mudari' because it has a ta in the beginning. No. We only mean that those words are mudari' when they have one of those 4 letters added to their beginnings. Okay? واضح? Okay, that we'll know inshallah in the future levels. طيب, now the noon is used for a group of speakers or by a single speaker for glorification. Na. إنا لننصر رسلنا والذين آمنوا في الحياة الدنيا ويوم يقوم الأشهاد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إنا لننصر ننصر. And nansuru is the mudari' of nasara. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna lanansuru. See? Lanansuru. As in the chat box. Jazakallahu khairan. Inna lanansuru. Okay? Now, nansuru is the mudari' of nasara. Nasara here. This nasara. So here, how many noons are in the beginning? Do you see in the verse? There are 2 noons at the beginning. Okay? Which means that the first noon is an extra noon. Okay? Is an extra noon. Okay? So here, this makes this word a mudari'. Okay? واضح? Now nansuru here, يعني إنا لننصر رسلنا, meaning we give victory to, or we make our messengers victorious. Who is the one speaking here? Saying nansuru, we do it. We. Allah. Okay? So Allah used the noon, which originally expresses a group of speakers. So, and this is because this noon is not only expressed, or does not only express a group of speakers, but it is also used by a single speaker glorifying himself, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in many verses of the Quran. Okay? Don't worry about this ana and nahnu. This, don't worry about it. This will take it later, inshallah. Now the ya. Another letter of the letters of the mudari' which have to be found in its beginning, okay, is the ya. Now the ya is used for males, spoken about. Okay? Or 2, or a group of 3 or more, whether all males or here, basically the ya is used mostly for the spoken about. That says it all. That puts it much yani in a nutshell. The ya is used mostly for the spoken about. So if you're speaking about someone, yes, a third person, you say yansuru, yadribu, yakulu, yashrabu. واضح؟ يشرب. قالوا ما هذا إلا بشر مثلكم يأكل مما تأكلون منه ويشرب مما تشربون. Allah said. So the ya used here, okay, forming the mudari', the ya here is usually for the spoken, or originally for the spoken about. Okay. As for the ta, okay, it is used for the spoken to. For the spoken to. Okay. Yeah, the one you're speaking to. Okay. So don't you can just skip all this in details now because you won't need it now, inshallah. So just write yani the ya is for the spoken about. Originally the ta is for the spoken to. Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, for example, Tallahi tafta'u tadhkuru Yusuf hatta takuna haradan aw takuna min al-halikin. If you say tansuru, that means you help. If you say tadribu, you use the ta in the beginning. So it means you hit. If you say, for example, ta'kulu, that means you eat, etc. So the ta is used mostly for the spoken to. واضح بارك الله فيكم. Now, the mudari' which is prefixed with the ya is one of the most commonly used by scholars. And scholars, when they give you examples to the mudari', they usually use what? They usually use the ya. So that's why you're going to find the ya, or you're going to see the ya, يعني أي آية أي آية تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين. إيه سورة يوسف. نعم. تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين. نعم. طيب طيب the madi. نعم. The madi which is prefixed with the ya is one of the most commonly used by the scholars when setting forth examples. The madi bears a fatha on the end. Here he's giving you a couple of differences between the madi and the mudari'. You can notice, barakallahu fikum, although this is not our center of study to speak about the end, but just to give you a beneficial way to distinguish between the madi originally and the mudari', says the madi bears a fatha on the end, while the mudari' bears a dhamma at the end. See? Fa'ala yaf'alu. Fa'ala la. See, it has a fatha at the end. Yaf'alu, it has a dhamma on the end. Okay? The fa is also silenced in the mudari'. As you can notice here, the fa in the mudari' becomes silenced. Because we said in the madi, daraba, right? But in the mudari', yadribu, adribu, nadribu, tadribu. So we're always silencing the fa here in the mudari'. واضح? We're always silencing the fa in the mudari'. Okay? So in the mudari', the fa is going to be silenced. Okay? And it's silenced due to a principle. Okay? Due to a principle. Yes. This principle says it is not preferred to have, it is avoided, better than not preferred, it is avoided to have 4 harakat in a row in one word. Okay? So 4 harakat, yani 4 harakat in a row is avoided in the Arabic language. Because if we were to put 4 harakat in a row, we would say yafa'alu. Yani if we would allow that and not silence the fa, we would end up saying yafa'alu. Yafa'alu. And is that light on the tongue or heavy? Yafa'alu. 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 That's heavy on the tongue. So usually in one word they avoid having 4 harakats in a row. Okay? Now the example is fa'ala yaf'alu. The madi is fa'ala, the mudari is yaf'alu. One may ask, why is the sukoon given to the fa? Yani how come the sukoon is not given to the ain? And how come the sukoon is not given to the lam? Okay? It is because the haraka on the lam, final letter, is the haraka of i'rab, to be learned in nahu. يعني look at the haraka at the end, barakallahu fikum. Okay, let me tell you something about the harakas that are found at the end of words. Okay, now the harakas that are found at the end of words are supposed to determine what role each word plays, and this is a grammatical information. Again, the haraka found at the end of words, okay, are supposed to determine what role the word plays in the context. Understand? Let me give you an example, barakallahu fikum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-Hajju ashhurun ma'lumat. فَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ. Wow. He said in one verse you find the word al-hajj. Al-hajj mentioned 3 times, but each time it is mentioned, it is with another vowel at its end. Al-hajju. What's at the end of al-hajj here? Al-dhamma. Al-hajja, the second al-hajj, a fatha. Al-hajji, the third, a kasra. واضح? Why this changing that happens to the end of words? Here, this grammatically expresses the different roles that this word plays in a sentence. Understood? Okay? Now, if we go and silence the lam, okay, always, it will lose that role. Okay? It will lose that role. So the lam, that's why the lam wasn't the one silenced. Although there are words silenced originally, okay, but not the mudari. Not the mudari. Okay? Now, it is because the haraka on the lam, final letter, is a haraka of i'rab, to be learned in nahu. Now, the haraka on the ya is fixed for the mudari, and it is not possible to start on sukoon. It is not possible to start on a sukoon. Remember, I told you the Arabs don't start with a sakin, neither do they end with a mutaharrik. They don't start with a silenced letter, neither do they end with a voweled letter. Okay? So it is not possible to silence the first letter. Okay? While the haraka on the ayn, now why? Okay, we understand why don't we silence the last letter. And we understand now why we don't silence the first letter. What about the ayn? Why the fa? Why not the ayn? So because the ayn, as you will learn inshallah, is the haraka of one of the three forms. Remember when I told you here in the madi, here, when I told you what are the three, what you call it, forms of the madi, three forms, fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. Three forms of the madi, not the combinations. The three forms of the madi, what are they? Fa'ala, or fa'ila, or fa'ula. Now, if we silence the ayn, if we go ahead and silence the ayn, what will happen if we silence those ayns? What will happen? They will all become identical because we're going to say fa'la and fa'la and fa'la because we silence those ayns, right? When we turn it into a mudari', we won't differentiate between the three. Okay? That's why the fa was the one which was silenced. Understood? Barakallahu fikum. Clear? Okay. Now, so since the fa is no longer in the beginning, we can give it a sukoon. And the forms of the mudari' which are derived from the three forms of the madi are three also. Since the madi only has three forms, so will the mudari'. Okay? So will the mudari'. Good? Because the starting point of forming the mudari' was the madi. The starting point of forming the mudari' is the madi. Okay, you're confused. Okay. And because usually in the beginning I really broke it down, so inshallah, let me do it for you inshallah here. Okay. Now we have how many forms of the madi? Three, right? Okay. What are they? They are fa'ala and fa'ila and fa'ula. Okay, now I want you inshallah to change, okay, those forms into a mudari'. Okay, now here are the steps, barakallah fikum. Let me show you inshallah step by step inshallah how to change a madi to a mudari'. Now the first thing to do is that you're going to add any of the letters you wish, the four letters, to its beginning. Any of the four letters which we have mentioned, either the hamza or the ya or the ta or the noon. Okay, but try to get used to adding the ya. Okay, so first of all, what do? We add the ya to its beginning. There you go. Okay, we add a ya to its beginning. There we go. That's the ya. Okay, now wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So we added the ya. This is the first step, right? So the first step here, I'm gonna write it here. Okay, step number one. Okay, what you're gonna do? We add a ya or any of the four letters of the mudari' to its beginning. Okay, this is step number one. واضح? So basically we're going to do that step to all of these, all right? So يفعل, يفعل. We're going to do it step by step. Okay, and what's the second one going to be? يفعل. And what's the third one going to be? يفعل. So here, this is the step number one. This is what we did basically. We added a ya to the beginning of the madi. And this is the process. Okay, and the steps to change it to a mudari. First of all, what do? Add a ya. Good? This is step number one, right? Step number two. Step number two. We're going to give that ya or any of the four a fatha. يعني make it a مفتوح. Okay? And you give it a fatha. Put a fatha over the ya. So, what am I going to say? Ya. Come on, you tell me. How will I pronounce the first word now that's on the board if I just put a fatha on the ya? Huh? Yafa'ala. You can notice, you see, the thing I spoke about recently, how heavy this is. Yafa'ala. Yafa'ala. Okay? Okay, what about the second one? Yafa'ila. Okay? What about the fourth one? Yafa'ula. Okay? So this is step number two. Okay? This is step number two. Step number three. Step number two is understood? Brothers, sisters. Step number two, understood? Okay, good. Now let's go to step number three. Step number three is silence. Silence the fa of the word. Silence the fa of the word. So we're going to silence each fa here. We're going to silence each fa. So how do we pronounce the first one now since we silenced the fa? Yaf'ala. Heaviness gone? Is the heaviness gone? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ni'mah min Allah. Yaf'ala. Yaf'ala. So smooth and light, mashallah. Okay? Okay, what about the second one? Yaf'ila. Yaf'ila. Good. What about the third one? Yaf'ula. Is that it? No, that's not all. The last step you're going to do, okay, which is step number 4, is what I have just mentioned to you, that every mudari' originally gets a dhamma at the on its end. Okay, so change the lam of the word from a fatha to a dhamma. Okay, so instead of yaf'ala, I'm going to say yaf'a. Yaf'alu. And instead of yaf'ila, I'm going to say yaf'ilu. And instead of yaf'ula, I'm going to say yaf'ulu. واضح? Best, congratulations. Now you know how to, yes, by default. Now you know how to change a madi to a mudari. Now, why wasn't the ya silenced instead of the fa? Because the Arabs don't start with a silent letter. when we say it example to conversation, we will pronounce the end haraka. When we say it example to conversation, we will pronounce the end of haraka. No, of course, yani, if we stop at the word, we said before that if we end with the word, we don't pronounce the last haraka. But see, yani, if what you're asking is it is still silenced when we end with it, then that's not an original silencing. That's an exceptional silencing which is not done all the time. So here, when we explain those principles, we are saying that this is the case by default. Now the default case could change according to how you speak the word, okay? And according to the different letters you might add to the word. So yaf'ulu, silencing it because I stopped or because I ended with it in speech does not contradict it being having a dhamma originally. Understand? And yaf'ilu, if I end with it saying yaf'il, I silenced it because I ended with it, not because it does not originally have dhamma. واضح? So here, when we speak about, and when we give you a principle, this principle is by default. Okay? أيوة. نعم. الآن change the lam of the word from a fatha to a dhamma. There you go. يفعل 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 يفعل. Now we said why isn't the sukoon given to the beginning, to the first letter? Because the Arabs don't start with a silent letter. Why didn't we give the ayn, or why didn't we silence the ayn instead? Because the ayn, okay, the changing of the letters in the ayn determine the chapters, or determine the different forms, okay? Determine the different forms. With if we had this ayn silenced all the time, there won't be a difference between the three forms. We will not be able to distinguish between three forms. Okay, that's why the sukoon wasn't given to the ayn. Why didn't we silence the lam? Because the lam originally gets a dhamma due to this particular type of word, which is the mudari', having a dhamma expressing the role it plays grammatically. Understood, Abu Zaid? Clear now? Is it clear now? Everything clear? What you have asked? Barakallahu feek. طيب. Maybe he's not here. خير إن شاء الله. طيب. So one may ask, why is the sukoon given to the fa, etc. So here. So basically, from what we did right now, we notice that we had three forms of the madi and three forms of the mudari because of this. Okay, so there's 3 by 3, barakallahu feekum. Fa'ala, fa'ila, and fa'ula. واضح? Clear? So here we have 3 forms of the madi, and in opposition 3 forms of the mudari. واضح؟ طيب. Okay. Now, remember what I told you? I told you that a chapter is a combination of the ماضي with a مضارع. يعني if you combine this with this, that makes a chapter. And if you combine this with this, that makes another chapter. And if you combine this with this, that makes it another chapter, a third chapter. And if you combine this with this, that makes a fourth chapter. And if you combine this with this, that makes a fifth chapter. And if you combine this with this, that makes a sixth chapter. And so on. واضح? So the chapters here are actual combinations of a مضارع, a ماضي with a مضارع. Okay, again. So here, remember what we said here in the beginning when we spoke about chapters and that we will explain chapters in the future. We said that what are chapters considered to be? Chapters are considered to be combinations of a ماضي with a مضارع. So basically this is what it is. Basically, now, يعني, a chapter is considered a combination of a single form of a ماضي with a single form of a مضارع. Okay? So فعل, if I combine it with يفعل, this is considered to be what? Abu Zaid? What's this considered to be now? This is considered to be what? A chapter. Okay? And then if I do another combination like فعل and يفعل, this is considered to be another chapter. And if I do a third combination, which is فعل with يفعل, this is a third chapter. And if I do a fifth or a fourth combination, which is فعل and يفعل, this is a fourth chapter. And if I do a fifth one, which is فعل with يفعل, this is a sixth one. And if I do a combination of فعل with يفعل, this is a sixth one. واضح? Clear? Clear? So now each combination is what is called a chapter. Okay? Alright. Now, here, let's read it here. What we have just explained. Now we have three forms of the madi, right? And three forms of the mutari, right? Which means that there are 9 possible combinations. Because 3 times 3 is how much? 3 times 3, 9. So if you're gonna, try and fix every form of the madi with every form of the mudari', okay, you will get 9 combinations. Okay, but the Arabs only spoke of 6. Those 6 which I have done. Yani, out of all possible logical combinations, the Arabs only used 6 combinations. So basically there are 6 chapters. Okay, there's fa'ala with yaf'alu, and fa'ala with yaf'ilu, and fa'ala with yaf'ulu, and there's fa'ila and yaf'alu, fa'ila and yaf'ilu, and there's fa'ula and yaf'ulu. What does this mean, these combinations? These combinations tell you what every verb has as a mudari'. Okay? For example, let me give you an example now, inshallah. Okay? Now, yes. Now we'll give you, as an example, nasara. Nasara. Okay? Nasara. Now nasara. Nasara is on the scale of what? Yani nasara sounds like what? Does it sound like fa'ula? Huh? Can I put it under fa'ula or over fa'ula? No. Does it sound like fa'ila? Huh? No. Does it sound like fa'ala, nasara, fa'ala, nasara, fa'ala? Yes. Okay? Now, nasara is on the scale of fa'ala. Now, fa'ala has how many combinations? How many combinations here, fa'ala? 3. Okay? Can nasara come with every combination? We say no. Nasara belongs to a single chapter. Yani to a single combination. Okay? Nasara belongs to a single combination. Yes, in most cases, yes. Okay? So nasara, the mudari' of nasara is yansuru. The mudari' of nasara okay, there we go. The mudari' of nasara is yansuru. The mudari' of nasara is yansuru. Now nasara is on the scale of fa'ala. Yansuru is on the scale of yaf'ulu. يعني nasara, its mudari' is only on this scale, on the third one, the third combination. Okay? So we say here that nasara belongs to this chapter. The chapter fa'ala, which comes with yaf'ulu. Meaning, what does that mean? Meaning, can we say that the mudari' of nasara is yansiru? This one with this one? Yansiru? No, we can't. Can we say that the mudari' of nasara is yansaru? No, we can't. Because nasara only comes with this combination. Okay? Different colors for what? For the different forms, or for the verbs that I'm matching? Hmm? Yeah. So nasara, there you go. Nasara yansuru. Yansuru. Nasara yansuru. It can't be yansiru, neither can it be yansaru. Why not the first? Simply because the Arabs spoke it that way. Simply because the Arabs spoke it that way. Okay? However, in a lot of verbs, some verbs have certain qualities which can restrict them to a certain chapter. Some verbs which have certain qualities, those qualities can restrict them to a certain chapter. Okay? So when we tell you, for example, we will tell you in the future, every verb which has this quality goes to the first chapter. This is what we will explain, inshallah, later. Okay? Every verb which has that quality is follows the second combination. So here, this will give you an idea, okay, or this will make you know what mudari' to use with which madi. Okay, but yes, but there are some verbs that don't have a special quality about them that restrict them to a certain chapter. Here we say simply that the Arabs chose to speak it in this combination. واضح بارك الله فيك. Okay, now now let's go back inshallah. So basically what was left is only 9, and if you want to find out why from 9 they chose 6, they spoke and used only 6, refer back to the book inshallah here in those pages and you shall find the answer. Okay, now here he says there are certain principles that must be understood. Okay, with these combinations. First, a basic principle regarding the combination is that the haraka of the ayn al-kalima in the madi should be different than the haraka of the ayn in the mudari' it is combined with. The haraka of the ayn in the madi should be different than the haraka of the ayn in the mudari' which it is combined with. واضح؟ يعني let's go back to this here chart here, okay, or this drawing here. The haraka of the ayn here, the ayn in the madi, is supposed to be different than the haraka of the ayn in the mudari'. Is it different here? Is the haraka of the ayn in the madi here different than the haraka of the ayn of the mudari' it is combined with? Yes. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? Now, let's go to the second combination. The haraka of the ayn in the madi here, is it different than the haraka of the ayn in the mudari' here? Yes. And this goes with the principle we have just explained. The haraka of the madi, the ayn of the madi here, is it different than the haraka of the ayn in the madi here? Yes. So yes, fa'ila and yaf'ah. Okay, so it goes along with the principle. The haraka, yeah, okay. Now, some cases, which is only 2 cases, or actually 3, the haraka of the ayn is the same. The haraka of the ayn in the madi is the same as the haraka of the ayn in the mudari', and this is considered an exception. Okay? Now, see here. First, a basic principle regarding the combinations is that the haraka of the ayn in the madi should be different than the haraka of the ayn in the mudari' it is combined with. This is because the madi is a past tense and the mudari' is a present tense. So this difference in meaning is reflected by a difference in the haraka. Yani like a symbol. Yani a symbol that illustrates that both the madi or each of the madi and the mudari' have a different role and a different meaning they express. A madi expresses an act which is done in the time before speech. A mudari' expresses an act which is done in the time of speech. Okay? So because of this difference in meaning and in the role it plays, okay, in giving this meaning, it was suitable for the haraka of the ain in the madi to be different than the haraka of the ain in the mudari'. When we say this is a basic principle, we mean that it is the way it should be in Arabic speech, but it doesn't mean that the Arabs sometimes don't go against this principle in their speech. They sometimes go off their own principle for a reason, as an exception, for a reason. And this is the general principle I told you before, that the Arabs, يعني, or the Arabic speech has principles. If that principle is not followed at times, it doesn't break the principle, but it is only considered an exception due to a benefit. Okay? Now this exception is because of one of two things. Either a condition, yani there's a certain reason why this exception was sought or was made. There's a certain reason. This reason is because of a condition. Okay? Or limited usage. Yani just a few words that were used going against the principle. Okay? Now, the combinations that go along with this principle are called asl. Asl means original. The combinations which go along with this principle, which principle? That the haraka of the ain in the madi should be different than the haraka of the ain in the mudari'. Yes, of course, it is available. It is shared. I shared it with all of you. You can simply download it free of charge anywhere. No doubt. Now the combination, so the haraka of the ain, تفضلي. The haraka of the ain in the madi should be different than the haraka of the ain in the mudari'. This principle we're talking about here. Okay? Now, the combinations that go along with this principle are called original combinations. Okay? While the combinations that don't follow this principle are called odd combinations. Odd combinations. So the oddity is made an exception sometimes due to the verbs being limited or for a condition behind it. Okay? Clear? Barakallahu fikum. Is this clear? Is this clear to all? So, again, if the haraka in the ain of the ain in the madi is different than the haraka of the ain in its mudari, which it is combined with, then alhamdulillah, that's good. That's how it should be. It is according to the principle. But if that changes, meaning if the haraka of the ain in the madi is different than the haraka of the ain, is the same, pardon me, as the haraka of the ain in the mudari it is combined with, then here this is an odd combination. Okay, because it's not a combination which should be done. Okay, such verbs of the madi shouldn't be combined with the same ain haraka of the ain in the mudari. Okay, so this is the first principle. So this principle, basically we are teaching you it to know what is considered an original combination from what is considered an odd combination. Okay? Now, this is basically what we will this is not important because you haven't taken it. But if you would like to read it, go ahead and do so. Okay? Now, tomorrow, inshallah, is the fun part. Because we're going to teach you here how to, or the different congregations of the madi and the mudari'. Okay? how to say I said, he said, she said, you said, they all said, both of them said, the man and the woman said, etc. Okay, both the Madi and the Mudari. So this is going to be the fun part, inshallah. And here we're in page 23, which means the tomorrow we will, inshallah, be able to finish half of the book, inshallah, which leaves us with the second half. And alhamdulillah, it looks like we're yani, going on a good pace and on schedule to finish in 10 classes. We hope so. Okay? So any questions in those last 4 minutes or 3 minutes? When you say by default, what do you mean? Yani how it's supposed to be? How it is originally. واضح وفيكم بارك. آمين وإياكم وفيكم. Now, so we got 3 last minutes for questions, inshallah, if there are any. And we have also posted, we made a post in establishing the principles.org if asking your feedback for classes for kids and the age group, as I was asked in the forum. Is basically the age group that we're targeting is from 5 and above. 5 and above. The age of 5 and above. And basically this is going to be establishing the principles for kids. But this is just a just a suggestion. Yes, topics of course will focus on Tawheed, of course. Tawheed and Arabic. Basically the same. Basically it's going to be the same, but it's going to be a lot simplified and a more a 1, 2, 3 explanation. How things are explained to kids. It's going to be a lot more simplified. Yeah, but this is after istikhara and after inshallah you kindly give me your feedback. We'll see if this is it'll be a good thing to do or not. More courage to the students, seeing all the efforts in teaching, we should be more active. Naam, Allahul Musta'an. May Allah aid us all. No, it's going to be interactive, of course. With the kids, we might open their mic, okay, and let them participate by speaking, by answering, by giving. Yes, online. That's online. Yes, it'll be online. Okay. So if you are interested, please do drop some feedback, inshallah, in that post, and inshallah we'll see according to your feedback if it's a good idea or not. Now, when we get let us get the feedback first, inshallah we'll see, inshallah.